Today on Wynn Calls the Heart, we're talking about fine cuisine, stock markets, and money. Lots of it. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, Hearties. Welcome back to AfterBuzz TV. We are here doing Wynn Calls the Heart, Season 6, Episode 2.
Dos,
the Queen of Hearts. I'm your host, Marisa Serafini. Joining me, I have...
James Lott Jr.
Yes.
Hello.
Hello, Hearties. Welcome back. Welcome, James. Here we are.
Hello, everybody.
Very excited to talk about this. This was a great episode.
It's a great episode. Oh my, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, of course. So we're going to talk all about, of course, Elizabeth helping Timmy out ride the bike, this new introduction of this new scoundrel, so they say, with Lucas Bouchard, of course. We'll get all into him.
Yes.
Fiona Miller. I like her.
I love her.
She can stay.
I love her.
And then, of course, some Abigail and Gowan investments. Rosemary still playing matchmaker. And, of course, our favorite, Team Classy.
Yes.
Oh, everyone's our favorite. But before we get into it, what were your quick thoughts of episode 2?
Well, I have to say, I actually gave a shout out to the writers. The dialogue this episode was really good. Not saying it's bad or anything, but just I just love the dialogue. It was crackling. It was popping. It was just like a lot of great banter between characters. This episode, again, it wasn't super heavy. No. There was some intrigue and mystery, but it was very much another lighter episode that's kind of setting us up for stuff for the rest of the season. And a little bit of everybody. A little bit of everybody was featured, and I just thought it was a great. And I have to start out because I know people were talking about this, the new theme song. Yes. I have to get used to it.
The new credits.
It's very orchestral. It has elements of the old one in there. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but I'll wait a few more episodes, but I have to get used to it. But it has a new theme song. What do you think?
Well, I felt like the theme song is the same, but it's a little bit slower. Yeah. And it was a little bit shocking because they completely changed it from even last week's for the first episode. It was still the same one we saw, just removed Daniel Lissing. Right. But now this is a completely brand new one with the new characters.
And new shots and everything. I'm like,
all right.
I know.
It's a new season. But for my overall thoughts of this episode, I thought it was great. Like you said, I didn't think there was any really dramatic moments. No. It's still light. So the first 2 episodes of the season, still light, still fun.
Smart.
Still growing. We see different types of inventions, and we can see that more people are coming to the town, businesses booming.
Very diverse. In the background, I saw people in the background. Really? I saw 2 or 3 black people in the background. Okay. I didn't see your Asian guy.
I was like, I didn't see mine.
Yeah, our Asian guy was on last time. He wasn't there, but I saw 3 or 4 black people on there.
I still question the diversity, but it's still 1915.
Yeah, right.
That is besides the point.
Yes.
But I'm really excited to get into it. So let's just get into it. Elizabeth is teaching Timmy how to ride a bike for the first time. This was very, very sweet to see, first of all. But what were your thoughts of how she got him riding the bike? The whole process, because he's always like, no, don't let go. But the whole process that Elizabeth did in order to get Timmy to have the self-confidence to finally ride a bike.
Once again, I wish Elizabeth was my teacher. She's so good. And I think the thing about her, I love how she took his piano playing skills and a good teacher does that, tied it into the bike. She was very clever about doing it. And it was she's so caring and considerate with her kids and wants them to be their best. And so I guess another classic Elizabeth kid story. This was another they do this very well in the show when she interacts with the kids, and they actually tell kid stories about overcoming something and doing it. And he wanted to give up, and she was like, no, we're gonna work this out. And she found a way, as a good teacher would, to do it. That's what I liked about the story. How about you?
I think it was a very realistic story. It took me back to when I was 6 years old.
Oh, okay.
Riding a bike for the first time. I remember it took me 2 days to to learn it. But I did like the process because first you fail. And then he was just afraid of like really embarrassing himself more so than just the failing part. And I liked how she kind of reverse psychology him into it.
Where the word is, right?
Yeah, it was very smart, but also very Elizabeth in the fact that it's like, no, you do have skills. It took you a while to learn piano, but you could do it. It's the same thing, and you say apply those foundations to riding a bike. It just takes practice. And it doesn't matter if you embarrass yourself up. You get yourself up and dust yourself off and try again, just like Aaliyah.
Yes, I know that line. I know this line. Very
It was
90s.
exactly that line.
Very 90s.
But it was very realistic too, because kids who are watching this show right now with their parents, they're going through it too. Mm-hmm. So they can learn from this.
It was interesting because again, I don't know how Elizabeth does it in her dress. I'm like, I'm a guy, so I have no idea. But how do you like?
That was the cleanest white blouse ever.
Exactly.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, "Girl, you're outside with kids.
I know.
Not a speck on it."
And a long dress. Have to run after him on the bike. I was like, that takes some clever. That means you're talented. I'm like, I don't know if I can do it, but it was just like it was so funny.
That's
I was
a
looking
skill
at that
in and of itself.
in itself, because I know that's how they dressed back then. But it was very relatable. I agree with you. Very relatable. A good story. Again, the kids are always good. I mean,
right. I mean, the first episode this season, we had Laura.
Yes.
And then now we have Timmy. I wonder who the next kid's storyline
And I want to mention Laura, the actress who plays Laura, has a gap in her teeth. So mind the gap. I have one too. Mind the gap. Great people have them. And I'm glad how she keeps her gap in her teeth.
There you go.
I just want to mention, I noticed that in the episode this time when she was smiling.
All right.
She's like, what, James? I'm like, I do. Mind the gap. Gaps are good.
Gaps are good. Hashtag gaps. Moving on to, now we get this new scoundrel in town, because we saw at the end of last episode, we have this new guy buys out Gowan and Lee.
Bill. Yeah. Oh,
and Bill. Yes, sorry. They all went to leave because, Lee backed out. But we have this guy who bought the saloon for $10,000, and we finally meet him. First of all, what were your thoughts of his introduction?
Loved it.
In the cafe.
Loved it.
What are your overall quick impressions of Lucas Bouchard?
Great opening. The magic thing, hilarious. Great. I like that he's mysterious. Love the banter that he had with everybody. I mean, they got him with everybody. That small town was...
He met with Bill, Elizabeth, Rosemary, Cody, Abigail, Fiona.
Faith.
He met with everybody.
Yeah,
this
and
episode.
Florence and them were nearby. They were Florence and Molly. They were nearby. But
Right.
like he met up. He had some interactions with just about everybody. I loved him. That's just for the quick thing. I like that. And I think, I don't think he's a bad guy. I think there's something going on bigger than that. But it's a good mystery. It's going to be a good mystery.
Well, that'll be in my predictions later.
Yes,
But
yes.
I don't think he's a bad guy. I think he's done bad things. But we'll get more into that.
Yeah.
I liked him. His personality. I mean,
Yeah.
first of all, he's great to look at.
Very good looking folks.
But also very charming, to the point where
Yes.
it's alarming for Bill. Bill's like, no new guy who's
Yes.
this nice and charming is that honest and honorable. What are your thoughts of how Bill just kind of took action and did like a lot of background research on him?
Well, I just thought, at first it was kind of like, why are you so suspicious at first? But then I try to get into the mindset of being from a small town that's very close. Everybody's close together. A new guy coming in, and he doesn't really answer your questions straight out. I think there's a little bit of jealousy though in there because he wanted the saloon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the motivation kind of. But then also, I think he's looking out for the town too. So he's kind of it's a man thing. It was a push and pull there, I think, for him. He was kind of like, I don't know about this guy. But I was like, first, why are you attacking him so hard? Like, we don't even know who he is. I mean, we don't know if he's bad or not.
Yeah, Bill went into immediate sheriff mode.
He did.
And we've seen him be more nice and open to newcomers into town, but
Yeah.
I think it's because it's another guy and he didn't trust, and I think that just the police sheriff red flags went off in his head, where
Yeah.
a new guy who doesn't know can easily afford paying and buying a saloon for $10,000. I mean, back then, 1915,
Yeah.
$10,000 is a
Yeah.
lot of money. So I think it just raised a lot of questions. Like,
Yeah.
who is this guy who can afford all this? Where
Right.
did the money come from? Where were you in your past
Right.
in order to have this type of lifestyle now?
But I think it was all of that. I just think there was a little bit of jealousy in there and a little envy because he started thinking I can own the saloon, and he had some ideas probably that now are not realized because someone swooped in and took it. And Abigail was like, that guy, I've got his name already. He could sell. I think it was Tom was his name or something. He can sell the saloon to anybody he wants. I mean, you don't have to vet them basically. It's his right to do that. So it's like, okay, I'm like, okay, Abigail, you're right about that.
Business owner to business.
Business owners. And I get it. And then when he went to add food, Bill's like, Abigail's Cafe is just fine. Like, but I was thinking, yeah, you should have more options. That's how life is now. It's just one restaurant. It'd be kind of weird. I mean, there's options now.
No, and I know what it's like in a small town.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, yes, it's small, and there might be 2 or 3 quote-unquote competing restaurants, but you actually find that, your clientele still remains the same.
Yes.
No matter if there's another restaurant, like the people who are loyal will just keep coming back
right, of course.
despite a new place.
Right.
And we always see people going to the saloon anyway.
You're going to go anyway.
So it's not like their money's changing.
No.
Or
Not at all.
No, all their business is going to one place. That's it.
Right.
But I did love Bill because he's just so funny to see him go hard, just go.
He did.
Even getting the New Orleans police department involved. But then we get this mysterious call from Bill calls this woman in Cape Fullerton.
Yes.
At the mention of Lucas' name, immediate hang up.
Yep.
What do you think that was?
Well, I love that Fiona was part of this. Because she's my favorite new character.
Great.
She's my favorite new character on the show right now.
Girl can stay.
She is hilarious, and she just takes no prisoners. And I love when she was listening. I loved her banter with Bill too, when he was like, "Really? Isn't it against the law?" She's like, "I can supposed to listen to the first 10 seconds, make sure the call goes through." The way her answer was just like, and he smiled. He was impressed by her kind of too, because he did want answers. He wants to know stuff, and she was willing to help.
She's in the position to know everybody's dark secrets.
Yes, that's why I love that. I was like, yes, girl. I miss being a switch operator sometimes, looking at this. I did it twice in my life. But no, I like the fact that Bill's going to investigate, and we have some mystery now. We don't know who this woman is. There's another line who hung on the phone. And I love that Fiona's part of it. I just love the whole thing.
Yeah, but the whole mystery, Cape Fullerton.
Yeah.
What could have happened? It was a woman. A woman was involved who obviously did not like Lucas.
Yeah.
To the point where she immediately hung up. So hopefully we'll get more answers on it.
Lori Meeker's all, they're doing hang-ups even back then. And then she's all, she must count to 10 very, very slow.
Yeah.
That's like, exactly.
Interesting conversation.
That'd be me. I'd be like 1, 2, and then go slower.
2.5.
2.5, 3. I know it's funny. But yeah, no, I just thought that story. Again, the dialogue was so snappy. They were all, even her dialogue with Lucas later too. It was just like the whole French thing. But
and girl knows French.
Yes, she does.
So again, she can stay.
Yes.
And I liked how he interacted with so many people so quick in this episode, Lucas, because he's so charming, and Bill's like, no, something's up. But then the moment where he's also he rubs off the wrong way to Bill, but also he kind of starts off on the wrong foot with Rosemary and Elizabeth, the females of the town.
Yes.
What were your thoughts of his interaction with those
Well, not just that, but also the guys were all watching him. It's kind of funny to see when Lee and Jesse they were all standing outside watching. It was kind of funny. They're not all there. And with Rosemary, that was one of the funniest, funny scenes. I mean, just her introducing herself and her stage name and her whole pose. I love it. Well, I could just relate to that so much. And then just her wanting to be the entertainment. And when she saw that piano, I was hilarious. I thought she was Rosemary, Pascal does comedy so well. I mean, she's just hilarious. And I thought it was just really funny that and with Elizabeth, it was almost kind of sad, because when he heard the name Mrs. Thornton and then saw the baby, he assumed there was a Mr. Thornton, which he would normally assume that. And then when he found out that, when they told him later that there wasn't, Jack passed, you can see a little something like, oh,
he keeps sticking his foot in his mouth.
Yes. He said that He's kind of said that.
He's also very presumptuous. On some fronts. Especially he was trying to read Elizabeth and you have good personality and all this. And she even responded, you don't even know me.
You don't even know me.
So it just shows that he can read, or at least he thinks he can read people's personality.
Well, he did to Abigail too.
Yeah.
And when she said, when I get to meet this mayor, and if you realize she was the mayor also, then he kind of, it's like, oh, okay. But completely, I like, it's just fun. It was all fun. I get snappy dialogue, and I'm glad that now we have a little precedent with everybody in town with him. Mm-hmm. So now the storylines can go anywhere at this point now, because now he's met everybody.
He's also good with Cody.
He was great with Cody.
Teaching Cody
the magic.
Magic tricks.
So does anybody know, does Chris McNally in real life know how to do magic? Is that his thing? Because I'm like, it looked real to me.
I don't know. His French is good.
He had a friend. There's a French too. It's like he was speaking French. And I was like, ooh, he speaks French.
Well, and that's also the thing. I mean, his opening shot was the whole hand.
Yes.
I can't even say the term. Yeah. The whole hand tricking and making it look like he doesn't have the quarter when he actually does the whole hand
Right.
cupping.
It's like they call it
Sleight of
sleight of
hand,
hand.
that's
Sleight of
it.
hand. Thank you. Sleight of hand.
Obviously, I do magic.
Yes.
And then we see the other coin flipping thingy thing.
That's fun. I can't do that. It's fun. I can't do
That's
that.
the best technical term I can come up with.
Coin thingy, flippy thingy.
So again, I have a lot of predictions about this
Yes.
guy.
Yeah.
But his personality is charming.
He
very
is
charming. I do like him, despite what's up his sleeve.
See, I like him. I think he's a breath of fresh air in the town, especially for men, for the men's side. Just he's a breath of fresh air. There's a lot of women, so now we're building the men's side of this city, this town.
And
so
he's renaming the Saloon Queen of Hearts.
I like it.
I
like the name. I think it's a great name of a saloon. I think it's a great name of a saloon. Like, why not? I like it. And all that fish he brought, that fish looked good too. I was like, well, I want some fish.
Fish. But we see at the end of the episode, he's hiding money underneath it.
See, and again, that could be anything. It could be. I mean, we know it's money, but it could be for anything. I'm about to say it could be for anything. We don't know.
No, I
what
have
it's
my
for.
predictions.
Yeah.
Just wait.
And they're probably accurate too, I'm sure.
Gonna bring that up. But before we do, thank you everyone who's always tuning in every single week. Keep rating, keep commenting on iTunes, and keep subscribing on YouTube. So, I mean, and the way that it helps build AfterBuzz is subscribing to all of our channel genres and subscribe there. And, it just helps build our network and build our shows and keep us bringing these shows back to you.
Yes, we're on AfterBuzz TV Drama, so go to that page. Let me subscribe to that page for sure. But we also have ones for comedy. We have some for reality TV, red carpets, science fiction. But yeah, go there, subscribe, like, and on this show, go there and subscribe to When Calls the Heart After Show, because we do a lot of work to bring this to you guys. Subscribe to it, comment, rate, like. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like about the show. Tell us what you like about Marisa. Tell us everything.
And James.
And me too, I guess.
It's not just me.
My laugh. Oh, no, but it's all about her.
I miss your laugh.
But exactly. But go on there and do this because we really love, and Maria Menounos and Karen Nagara, who founded this place, really love bringing this content to you. So please do that and help us out.
Yeah, and I love reading the comments. We actually got 5 ratings on iTunes, so people are doing it. But also, if you leave your comments, we will read them live on iTunes. Yes. And also, we did have a nice comment actually via Facebook a couple of weeks ago. Brandon Hannon, who posted in the Hearties Facebook group, actually posted our show. I
didn't see this. Okay,
he says,
good.
I found myself listening to podcasts and stumbled across this one, our show. A great show that reviews Mine Calls the Heart episodes. Each episode contains a guest every once in a while.
Yeah, not every episode. Yeah.
But he watched our Christmas episode.
Oh.
And he also promoted for us. He says the series can be found on Spotify, YouTube, and wherever else you can get and listen to podcasts. So thanks,
great.
everyone.
Thank you. Yeah,
we
thank you so
truly
much.
do read all the iTunes.
We do. We read them.
And just all the comments in general. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
For always tuning in to us.
Yes.
All right, let's moving on to Abigail and Gowan. Okay. They're building Gowan's storyline. I say it every week.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
What were your thoughts of Abigail first taking the risk of giving her own money, her hard-earned money, to Gowan to invest for her?
Again, it was kind of comical, but also it was realistic. She's not a gambler. She's not rich. To put money on stock and you don't know what could happen. Anything could happen. It's scary. I mean, it's like anything. We're showing a lesson of taking a risk. So she took and maybe not getting the reward back. You may get it back, who knows? But it shows her trust in Gowan. Mm-hmm. See, it's changing. Everything started to change, and because Lee said that he trusted Gowan, actually.
Yeah, put money on Henry any day. Really, Lee? Really?
See,
Question.
And so I was like, there you go. So it was really. And again, their chemistry is there. It's there. I know you like it, but it's there because even that awkward thing at the dance at the party. He wanted to ask her to dance, I think, and he just said, "Never mind." He didn't do it, and then the song was over. I think there's something there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I know.
Keep believing in it. I'll see it when it actually is earned.
Yes, we'll see.
But what are your thoughts of how we soon learned that the stock market for this place that she did actually invest in Durham.
Yes.
In Durham.
Durham.
It starts with D. But it actually crashed, and he lied to her.
Yeah.
Abigail,
but for good reason, so to speak.
Saying she actually doubled the money.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts of this dishonesty?
But see, I thought it came from a place of a different kind of place than what we're used to with him. Mm-hmm. I think it was a place of he didn't want to disappoint her. and he wanted to make sure she didn't lose out on anything. He knew her money was hard earned, and so he did it in a place that was I want her to win, so to speak. I don't want her to know that this didn't work out. I think there's just a place of being scared a little bit and just like failing in her eyes. And I think it just came from a place that was completely different than the old Gowan, who would have done it because he was being dishonest for nefarious reasons.
And we've seen Gowan lose money. We've seen Gowan take money. So I completely get why he would feel bad if she immediately started off the gate with a bad investment, especially at his hands. So I understand why he wanted to double the money and actually like give her some positive reinforcement. But it's also, I don't like the way he did it because he still has this habit of doing everything dishonestly.
He has, I agree with you, he does. But I think it's going to be a learning thing.
Had he been more honest and she not found out about it later through the means of other people, through Lee, who actually told her the truth first, I think Gowan would have been a little bit more forgivable too. But Gowan has this habit of saying or of lying first.
But see, I think it's realistic. I think it's the same with Jesse when he first starting out. Like it's habit. You know, people in real life, sometimes they take a while to get out of the habit of their behavior. And I feel like Gowan went back to the place that he just normally knows, which is lying.
Dishonesty.
Right. I guess it's so maybe when she talked to him though, she did talk to him and say it was not good. So maybe now he will listen and not go to that place again. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. But I like how I completely agree with you that it did come from a good place.
Came from a different place
this time.
But it's like you can't
it's not
lie.
The best way to go about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
What are your thoughts of Rosemary still trying to set up Carson and Faith, and just the slow progression between Carson and Faith? Maybe actually being like okay with it.
I know, but that was a great. I love how they came together towards the end at the party. It was just like, I'm so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. It was great. Realistic. These are people who work together, and so to transition into a relationship may be a little strange at first. So it made sense to me that at first there were some miscommunications, and it kind of like, well, we can't do anything. I mean, to me, it's realistic. It's so realistic. But Rosemary believes in romance. He believes in. She's big and she's grandiose and
very big.
I can relate to that.
Where there is a spark, somebody's bound to be carrying a torch.
Exactly, that's her.
You two are perfect for each other.
That's her. That's her. She would believe, and she would believe for both of them. That makes sense to me. She's happy. She wants everybody else to be happy. That's Rosemary.
And you saw Lee in his facial reaction, she's doing it again. Okay,
so there were two lines in this whole show that are my quotes of the week, and one came from Lee. So actually, it was at the party because Lee's facial expressions are hilarious. Kevin is so funny. You can tell they get along in real life, and they just like have a good time between him and Pascal. They have a great time. You just tell. Yeah. But there was a scene in the thing when she was almost going off on Lucas because of that piano player thing, and he said this is the dialogue. He goes, "Okay, Tiger, let's go," and he grabs Rosemary and walks her out. That was how he said, "Okay, Tiger." It made me laugh so. I played it like twice to make sure. Did he just say "Okay, Tiger"? Made me laugh so much. It was just one of my favorite lines of the episode. Mm-hmm. But no, I think Lee is the straight man to her. He's like the
craziness.
He's like the Ricky Ricardo to her Lucille Ball, basically. Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Very much so. He can get a little crazy too sometimes, but
It's actually his birthday.
Yeah, he would have been 102.
Yeah.
And
happy birthday, Desi Arnaz.
And because Desi Arnaz and them, they really changed the face of television. So I just want to make sure I say the way it's shot, the 3-camera thing. That was all them.
They're brilliant.
And Desi Lee Productions,
and Paramount. But we're completely digressing.
Yeah, I was going to go back. I just want to mention that really quick. But I just think that he's very much. The way he just looks at her, he loves her so much, and he knows that she is who she is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, his facial expressions just are hilarious. They're priceless. He's just like okay. But he said okay, it's okay, Tiger. I was like, that is hilarious.
They're fun because we see, and you even go back to like season 2, and Lee had his feelings for Rosemary, and it wasn't as direct.
Yes.
Rosemary even had to go through the other women in town to find out what his feelings were for her. So, and I like how she's just so direct.
Yes.
And just like pushing people together, whether they like it or not. But it did force them to contemplate, like, would we be crazy together?
Right.
It forced them to actually just think about it.
It's funny because on here, so they're called Team Infirmary. I didn't realize that was their name. They're
Team Infirmary. I like it.
They said hashtag. They're saying that on here, so that's their name. I like that. I didn't know
we
there
have
was
so many teams.
Yeah, so many teams. I didn't know that.
Team Classy, Team Flomo, Team Infirmary.
On a side note, there's a show called God Friend of Me. I love that show on Sundays. And the main people finally got on a date at the end of the episode this Sunday. So I like the slow burn.
Spoiler alert.
No, sorry. But I like the slow burn. I like that they're going slow at Carson and Faye. That's why I say I like the build up. We don't need everything to be happening right away. I just like that they're kind of building them together, and then on their own, they came to the conclusion maybe we should try this out.
Yeah.
On their own.
I think you're special.
I like that.
And then they're cute dancing. At the end.
Dancing. They were dancing. So I liked it. I liked them together.
I like them together.
I do.
We've been rooting for it.
We have for
how long?
For seasons.
We even talked to Andrea last.
We did.
year
Yeah, we
about
did.
It.
That's
it was
how we did.
When can we see them together?
Yes, we've been shipping them for a while.
Forever.
So yeah, so Team Infirmary. I like that.
Yes,
okay.
Team Infirmary. I like it. All right, moving on to the next team, Team Classy.
Yes, our buddies.
Clara and Jesse. So, of course, Lucas, the new saloon owner, he's hiring, and he's hiring waitresses, and Claire wants to do it in her free time at nights. Jesse's not liking this. It's like, is that Jesse's place?
Thing. It's a male thing.
To say that?
It's a male thing. It's men.
That?
It's men. It's totally men.
Is it just men, though?
Yeah, it's men. I mean, in some way, because see, remember from last episode.
Why would you want to? But the way he said it, why would you want to work for him?
Right. Because he don't trust him either. Jesse doesn't trust Lucas. There's some of that in there. I always forget. I wrote this down because I always forget that her last name is still Stanton.
Yeah.
Because when he said, "Oh, you related to Abigail, to the mayor," I was like, "Oh, that's right." Because I mean, all these Stantons. There are a lot of Stantons running around. I mean, they start
Cody
saying that, right? And then his sister's a Stanton, and then Elizabeth's a Stanton. Then Abigail's a Stanton, and now I was like,
I thought that too. I was like, girl, you're gonna have to change your name again.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh yeah, she's a Stanton still because of the late son.
Right.
But to me, this is realistic to me. The show does hit realism, and I feel like there are a lot of men out there who don't want their women to work so much because they want to provide. He wants to provide for her. Remember, he's trying to figure it out. In the meantime, she's like, we need to make some money. And that's what women want to do. Women want to help. And so his attitude, of course, this is 1915. Of course, his attitude is like, what are you doing? Like, why would you want to do that? Why would you want to be a waitress?
Chivalry.
Yeah,
kind of,
yeah.
Like, the man should provide and the woman should do domestic things.
And because she's working as a dressmaker is different, I think, in his eyes.
Yeah, seamstress.
It's different. It's different
right.
than being a waitress at a saloon.
Right, where multiple people might be inappropriate at some moments. But I mean, I completely understand the argument. Like, it's going to take up all your free time. We're not going to have enough time together. But I understand her perspective too. Like, no, that means just both of us are working hard, making more money for our future. We apply it for our future. It's hard work now, but again, it'll be easier down the line.
Well, I'm seeing a lot of women in the chat room who actually think Jesse's...
What are they saying? Shout them out.
Well, they're saying that Clara is being too much, basically. It's interesting from women. Like, I guess they're like, they should let Jesse... Well, it's my reference says, I feel like it's kind of emasculating that she's trying so hard to make money just so he would propose. And Riddle says, Clara needs to let Jesse lead the relationship if they're both getting serious about getting married.
Why does a man have to lead a relationship?
I don't know. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. I just think I just know that men feel that way. I just know men. We just tend to. We want to fix it. We want to be that. We want to fix it. But I know that women want to help. Women are the ones who want to go in the trenches and say, okay, I will do what I can to help my man.
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a people say, oh, Sharon Stark, she's pushing too much.
Yeah, and I have to keep reminding myself we are in 1950.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
And I've just been in relationships where like it doesn't work when just one man takes the reins.
No, that's
so
now.
A man.
That's kind of now.
Keep coughing because I'm like, it doesn't have to be the man.
Right.
Women can wear pants too in a relationship.
They can.
And it's frustrating when we keep going back to the old-fashioned
They can't wear pants back
ways. Yeah, they literally can't. Only because they see what it is now.
Right. So we have to.
And I know relationships have changed and have actually become better and stronger when both people are equal rather than one person just taking the lead. There you go.
So Stacey Matthews, I Heart Knit, Ann Riddle, Lori Pearson, Maya Ruffin, the Queen of Regal. I'm going Queen of Regal.
Oh, hey, girl.
It's like, okay,
she's an old fan. She used to be part of my Once Upon a Time.
Oh, how funny. Oh, wow. One of the onesies.
Back when I did that show.
Wow. Lori Pearson, of course. Janette Isaac, my girl. Hey, Janet. Sharon Stark, Melanie Talevsky. Make sure I say that correctly. My eyes are kind of bad. Let's see, Sharon Stark. We know her. She's in there. We got a bunch of people watching us today. Thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Hearties, for always tuning in.
Thank you, Hearties.
You're
Kimberly
amazing.
Brew. Hi, Kimberly Brew.
Yeah, always let us know what you think is if it's okay if Jesse takes the lead in this. But it's totally okay for Clara to also take another job.
There you go.
So, I mean, it's kind of torn. I am torn right now just in this situation.
Well, again, I like, again, that they're going through something that's realistic for young couples. It's something realistic that's still timeless. I mean, that's the whole thing of money and who's making money and engagement and stuff. I'm glad we're seeing them more and more in the seasons now. We're seeing that now they're becoming the young couple. So it's kind of, I like it. I'm glad they're getting more airtime.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Because we've always liked them. Oh, thank you, Stacy.
I think they're getting more airtime because one certain couple that we wanted is not getting any
Yeah.
airtime anymore. So I think they're really splitting the storylines that they potentially could have gone to Jack and Elizabeth, but
True.
now we're putting it on the young couple because we had the whole running storyline of Jack building a house.
Yes, we did.
He had property and real estate.
That's right.
They had plans. That never came to fruition.
That's
so now we're kind of like passing that off to
You're right.
Jesse and Clara.
Didn't think about that.
Having a new house, starting their future together. You know, so I feel like, and you see it a lot actually in just television shows, not just this one, but television shows in general. When a character leaves more abruptly than you think, there's storylines that have already been kind of built or in the works go to other characters. They get dispersed out in different ways.
That's true. That's true. It happens on soaps too. It's very true.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yeah, it happens all the time. But yeah, I think you're right. I never thought about it that way, Vanessa. You're right. I think that's what's happening. They're putting these. Say, okay, we can put that storyline with these two, and it can still work.
It still works. It's still relevant.
It works. Everybody's just. A lot of people are just saying in general that they need to communicate better, like you said last week. Just need to communicate better. But I think the saloon thing, because it's a saloon, is raising Jesse's flags. I think it's what's going on. If it was somewhere else, maybe not so much. But I think that's
maybe there are a lot of scoundrels in this saloon.
Well, I guess we'll find out, right? We'll see what's going on.
Especially when you add alcohol to it.
Yes.
It's no bueno. It's not a good place for
No.
a young woman.
No.
Who is as great as Clara is.
Yes, we like Clara. She's good.
Yeah. Anything else about this episode? One of my favorite moments actually was when Fiona was teaching Florence the telephone. And I'm just thinking, no, that is the worst person to teach the telephone to. The biggest gossiper in town. Like,
I love it.
I love it. You do not give a telephone to Florence.
So here's what my other quote of the week was when Lucas, of course, comes on and reveals himself as the owner, and before that, Bill was cranky, hilarious cranky.
Yeah.
Didn't like his eggs.
Eggs are rubbery.
So the quote of the week for me goes to Abigail, to Bill. She says, "I guess your eggs won't be tasting better anytime soon." And the way she said it was hilarious. I was like, I was laughing so hard. That was my quote of the week. She was standing, she's like looking at him, she's like, "I guess you're going to be tasting good anytime soon," when he walked out, and Bill was just so exasperated. Hilarious. So the notes that I wrote, it's been over a year since Jack died. I'm loving the beginning voiceovers of Elizabeth now. Over a year.
Yeah.
I guess it has.
Yes.
Let's see what else I have on there. Like I said, I love the dialogue of the episode. Flo and that whole scene about the gossip was hilarious. But the phone is good because you can find out things, and that was hilarious. I want an old-fashioned phone now. I want one.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week. I think one of my favorite lines at the beginning was when Elizabeth, her amazing voiceover, talking about little Jack. Yes. And she said, "He'll be a man of honor and integrity. He will have the capacity for eternal love. Part him, part me, all you."
Yes.
I'm like,
I love the voiceover stuff. I love that.
Me. You got me.
I like that. Also, Abigail was serving beef brisket and cabbage for dinner. And that sounded so good. I was like, "Oh, what's some beef brisket and cabbage?" That sounded good.
I don't eat beef.
I do occasionally, and I'm like, that sounded delicious. I just thought it was really good. And let's see, the self-playing piano.
That party. I mean, that was a high-end party from Lucas Bouchard.
Yes.
We had salmon and caviar and like expensive, luxurious foods, all for free. Mind you.
Right, for free. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a man who can afford all that food for free.
Right, and another funny scene at the party when Lucas buys Bill a drink, and he says, "No, I get it myself." Puts down his coin, and then when Lucas walks out, he picks his coin back, puts it in the pocket. That made me laugh also. So he got a free drink afterwards.
Yeah, there you
So
go.
that was kind of. That's the only things I kind of. Those are some little notes I wrote down. There were just some. It was like a lot of funny moments. It was really funny.
A lot of funny moments. A cool moment was actually that leads us into our special segment.
Yes, it does.
At the party, we see a pianola,
Yes.
which is pretty much in layman's terms, a playing
piano. Yeah.
And I loved how Rosemary was like, that was your entertainment. I actually know how to play the piano. But and I think it's pretty fun because I was looking more into the pianola.
Yes.
The first two pianola was actually completed by Edward Scott Voti in a workshop at his home in Detroit. He's a fellow Michigan. Which is really cool. In 1895, so not that long, about 20 years before this show, and the Voti later joined the Aeolian. Sorry, I'm gonna completely butcher this. Aeolian Company, which put the instrument on sale in the U.S. in the autumn of 1898, and then later on in Europe a couple months after that. But the pianolas and the competitors were not simply just an invention of any one person. It was like multiple different things kind of put together, like different mechanisms kind of put together. And Voti's pianola was so successful that its name came to be used by the public for almost any type of player piano. The original use for the word pianola has actually disappeared. It's kind of dead now because no one actually calls it a pianola, but it's just like more reproducing piano. But actually how it works, which is pretty cool because, inventions, it was brought into it. So it has a suction power that's generated by the pianola's feet and is controlled and pitched by a perforated music roll. Wow. So that's where you see the music roll. The greater the suction at any one instant, the louder a particular note or chord will sound in the music. In the oh goodness, I can't even talk today.
Yes,
I'm so sorry.
you do, girl.
The conscientious pianist must learn to control dynamics as rapidly and subtly as a normal pianist. So it has to have the same timing of if a real person is actually playing. And the cool thing is the music rolls. There was over like hundreds of different actual composers actually specially arranged music from Stravinsky, Hindemith, Milhaud, Percy Grainger, and Herbert Howells composed actual music in music rolls just for the piano.
I love it.
The pianola.
Pianola.
Yeah, and the music rolls, it's recorded it's not recorded at a keyboard, but simply it's just perforated by a technician. So that's where you get all the bumps in the music roll marked up with a pencil with reference to the original music sheet. So yeah, it's a lot of cool little things. So you take the already composed music sheet usually and just pretty much put perforations in it, and then with the whole section change at the feet, it moves the music roll to actually play the air, and put it on a roll. There you go, and you have the pianola.
I love it. It's amazing how they can do that.
It's cool, isn't
I know.
it?
I want one.
Yeah.
Somebody send me one. I want one.
And here I thought playing the keyboard was hard, let alone
I play piano.
having the piano.
So, and that's funny. I'm going to give a shout out to my teacher, Miss Pappy. She was 2,000 years old when I was a kid. And she taught me and my sister Lauren how to play piano. I took lessons for 5 years, and she was tough. And she was old. And she's like, fingers, make your fingers, do 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 your fingers.
Chords are hard.
They are.
Chords are
And
hard.
you know, if you play guitar, is very similar.
I play.
And so I play piano.
Or at least I try to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, some information about the pianola.
Yeah.
Let us know if you found that interesting, because I did.
Some people say, no, they're saying very interesting, cool, like kind of like a music box, Stacey Matthews said.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, kind of
but
like
a very
that.
big, expensive music
Yeah,
box.
yes.
All right, moving on to a little bit of news.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So Ben Calls the Heart was trending last night. Yay!
Yes.
Because I didn't see
Even
it last week.
Even I tweeted.
I didn't see it trending in the first week because it was competing against the Oscars and a lot of other big things.
But it did well, though. It
did well last night. The first episode actually did so well. It had 2.446 million watch the premiere, which was the highest season premiere in the history of Wynn Calls the Heart.
People came back.
Despite everything that happened at the end of season 5, and where people said that they weren't going to watch season 6, you did.
You watched it.
You did.
You watched.
Don't lie.
Yes.
And it made it the second most watched cable program of the night.
Period. I mean, period.
So good on you, Hearties, for
Hearties.
making Wynn Calls the Heart's
Hearties.
debut episode. So good. And also, it was Andrea Brooks, Ben Rosenbaum's birthday yesterday.
Yes.
March 3rd. And it was also Ava Cooper's birthday over the weekend.
Yes, little Ava Cooper, yes.
We had a lot of
A lot
birthdays.
of a lot of birthdays this weekend.
So happy birthday, everybody.
Yes, you guys.
It's your
yes,
birthday.
yes.
All right, moving on to predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV
Predictions. That's extra. That's
Yeah,
extra.
that was really good.
Oh, I guess that's extra. It's like, well.
I mean, I have my predictions, but I'll let you go.
I know yours are going to be, oh my God. Okay, my prediction for Lucas is he's not bad, but he's carrying something out for someone else. And I'm going to predict it's his mother.
His mother?
These are predictions, right?
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to predict it's his mother.
His mother.
He's doing so. There's something going on, and she has. Well, it's not his mother, but I'm gonna stick with his
Oh,
mother.
the woman on the phone could have been his mother?
Yeah. Could have been, and she has a surprising connection to someone already in Hope Valley.
Okay. Interesting. I'm so glad your predictions are so far from mine.
Yes.
So, all right. Here's mine.
Yes.
I think Lucas is a poker player.
Oh, okay.
You see him with a whole sleight of hands and the
Yes.
coin tricking and all that. So I think he's definitely a poker player. That's how he won a lot of money. Gambling.
Okay.
And honestly, I think he got so good at it that he got more money than honorably winning in that sense. So I think that's why he was hiding the money. Because I think it could have been stolen money. It could have just been any type of money that he didn't win.
Okay.
Completely honestly in poker gaming.
Okay.
So he's definitely a gambler. And I think he's taken that money and laundering it into the saloon.
I think there's some money laundering happening too, but I think he's doing it for somebody else. Like he doesn't want to do it, but he's doing it for somebody else.
Right. But I definitely think he's definitely a poker player. He has.
I like that.
Because he
I like
was
that.
also, we see when he's talking to Elizabeth and Rosemary, and just like anybody, he's reading them. He's reading their personalities.
Oh yeah.
Much like a poker player would.
That's true.
That you
That
just
part is
read
true.
personalities in that sense. And then we also see his conversations when he's saying, and I really went into him. I could be a poker player too. You wouldn't know. When Bill was talking about New Orleans and Fiona was talking about San Francisco, I definitely, and he was playing it off like, I might have done stuff there. I definitely think he has done business.
Well, he's not telling where
in
he's
New
from.
Orleans
Yeah.
and San Francisco. He was playing coy with both of those places.
I think he's been in New York too. Like you told
Oh,
Rosemary,
yeah.
I think he's been everywhere. Yeah.
Here and there, he's a tumbleweed. So I definitely think he's been traveling, maybe working the casinos or what have you. And especially the name of the saloon, Queen of Hearts. It's a card.
Interesting.
He's definitely a poker player. He has to be.
Interesting. Okay.
Tell me if I'm wrong. I mean,
Okay.
if not, then maybe I should just watch more Sherlock Holmes and then get my game together. But I think that's it. I think
Maybe.
he's a poker player and he got a lot of money and he's laundering it into the saloon.
Yes.
Aha!
There you go.
I said it.
You're probably right. I mean, knowing you're probably right.
There's rating him like
Yes.
a poker player.
Yes.
All right. Thanks everyone for tuning
know,
in.
I know.
That's episode 2. We're already done.
It's why it's so fast. I don't
I
want to leave you. I
know.
don't want to leave you. I'll leave
It was
you
so
guys.
fun. In the meantime, James, where can everyone keep following you?
First, Elsie Miller made this for me. It's an itty bitty and has little bees on it like AfterBuzz. It's a goatee. It's my goatee. My hairline's a little far back, but other than that, that's fine. I shave my head all the time. But he's so cute. I love him.
That is adorable.
Thank you, Elsie Miller. I love it.
Yeah.
You can follow me where all James Lott Juniors are sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms. Shout out to Luke Perry's family. He passed away today at 52. And to the guy from the Grand Prodigy, he passed away today also at 49. And he also laid to rest Christophe St. John from Young and the Restless today. His funeral was today, and he was 52 also. So shout out to all of them. All around my age. It's kind of crazy.
Wow.
Shout out to them. So yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Rest Serafini.
rest in peace.
Yes.
Thank you everyone for always tuning in. You can follow me everywhere at Serafini TV. You can follow all of us here. I'm just speaking too fast. You can follow all of us here: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all those fun social media platforms at AfterBuzz TV. Keep rating, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and keep watching Wynn Calls the Heart. We have a lot of more episodes coming up. Actually, before we go,
Oh, yes.
also I do have to remind people: next week we're actually taping at a special time,
Yes.
4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern, only because admittedly it is my fault.
Yeah, 4. So we use me
So
4
we're
p.m.
going 1 hour earlier.
1 hour earlier.
And we'll remind you next week
Yes.
as well, but we are 1 hour earlier. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We will see you next time.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.